Welcome back to Green Tiger Claw Productions, and welcome back to my spooky themed reviews for Spooky Month. And as you can see, we're heading back into the realm of indie horror games with this guy. This is the Hula Bendy figure by Jakks. Yeah. You may recall a while back, I took a look at this guy. This guy here is, he's part of the new Bendy figure line that Jakks did for Bendy and the Dark Revival, the actual horror game. Do check out the review for this guy. It is a pretty sweet figure. Ooh, sorry about that. Kind of setting you up for a jump scare there. But along with doing figures for the game, Jakks also produced these guys around the same time. These are just vanilla Bendy figures. They don't represent any kind of horrific version of particular Bendy characters. They're just the Bendy. You know, they're just the characters from the in-universe Bendy cartoons. You know, yeah, and they're really nice. They like these guys here. They do have that very premium kind of feel about them, like you know, not like the typical, you know, Mario or Sonic figures that Jakks does all the time. That these guys feel kind of special. You know, sort of like the Sonic movie figures or the Mario movie figures, or the Sonic Prime figures. They've got that very, you know, premium kind of feel about them. Anyway, so today we're having a look at Hula Bendy from that particular, from Jakks Specific's Bendy line. Yeah, Hula Bendy. This is a variant of Bendy that, well, I picked this figure up because kind of had a particular charm about it. Kind of reminds me of the old Looney Tunes cartoons where, you know, Bugs Bunny would dress in drag to, you know, kind of trick the hunters. So kind of reminded me of that. And, you know, kind of keeping with the Halloween theme, because, you know, Bendy's kind of, you know, dressing up. So, yeah. So, yeah. Before we get to him, he did come with a few things. First of all, he came with this, a little can of bacon soup. You read that? Briar labeled bacon soup. Yeah. And you can see it looks kind of torn and faded. This is a sticker, by the way. Yeah. Got this piece up here, which you can kind of, you know, it is rubbery, so, you know, you can kind of clamp it down like that. Of course, it'll go right back up, but, you know. Let's see, what does that say? Just the way the little devil likes it. Oh boy. There's Bendy. Yeah. I would more associate bacon soup with Boris here, but maybe we can take Boris's little basket here. Yeah, just have him snatch that, be on his merry way. Yeah. And then the more interesting piece, he also comes with this. Each figure from this line does. This is like a little projector thing. And if you look in here, wait. Yeah. If you look in here, there's a little, hang on a second. If I get a flashlight here, okay. If you look in there, no, oh, here, not there, you can see, you can just make it out. Maybe you are supposed to, no. Yeah, I'm being silly again. But yeah, you can, if you can just make it out, you can see there's a little, like a cartoon of Bendy kind of hula dancing in there, and you can you know, rotate this knob here, and you know, it'll run through the different sections of the picture. Can't really make it out too well on the camera, but yeah. But yeah, that is kind of neat. Getting on to the actual figure here. Like I said, I picked this particular version up because, you know, there was a certain kind of charm about it. Kind of like the idea of it. You know, once again, kind of reminds me of the old Bugs Bunny cartoons where he would, you know, put on a dress and, you know, kind of fool Elmer. Yeah. And there is a vanilla Bendy figure, but I will get to that eventually. But if we look here at the kind of wreath of flowers he's wearing, you can see they are nicely sculpted. This thing is rubbery. There's little bits of black paint in the flowers. Pretty nice looking. Ooh, kind of the typical Jakks Pacific quality control back here, but see, there's his face. The white section of his face here, it is actually etched in there. You know, it's not just painted on. Little pie cut eyes and smile. Those are painted on, so you know. You can see his horns right here in the wreath. So you know, aside from the hula gear, it's pretty much your basic Bendy figure. Nice little bow tie. One thing I think is really clever is he has a little transparent neck. Bendy, the character, Bendy has no visible neck to speak of. Like literally, he doesn't have a neck. He just has his head kind of hovering above his body, you know. And so I think it's kind of clever the way they paid tribute to that by, you know, just making his neck this transparent piece. And it is on a ball joint, so you know the head will go any which way your heart desires will come to you. And you see what I did? See what I did there? Yeah. There's this floppy bow tie. Nice look on the gloves. Nice dots there on the gloves as well. Chubby fingers, kind of. Yeah. Really cool. Hula skirt. Again, that same rubbery material as the flower wreath. Nice paint application. It does look appropriately cartoony. 2024 Joey Drew Studios Inc. made in China. So this was last year. Nice shoe shine there, Bendy. Spit and polish. Articulation, once again, the head does go up, forward, rotate. A little bit stiff. You might want to be careful because that once again, that's a translucent plastic, the neck there. I wouldn't stress it too much. Arms are a bit limited in going forward, that is, because of the bow tie. But they will go out. You can see they are ratcheted, if you can see that there. Elbows, they will turn at the elbow as well. Hands go in and out, and they will rotate as well. So, you know, for more expressive poses. And then you can see he does go back. Yeah, there is a joint there, so he goes back and forward at the hips. I suppose if you rotate the hips, he will also, yep, go out as well. He does have knees, although on mine it feels really stiff and kind of don't trust it, to be honest with you. There we go. Yeah, he does have knees. I don't know if he rotates at the knee as well. Yeah, it looks like he does. And then he will also... I can't tell if that's his shoe or... I think that is his shoe. I think he will rotate at the shoe as well. But, you know, yeah. So, yeah, can get a few hula dancing poses out of this guy. Yeah. Size comparison. Here he is with Boris. So they pair up well together for a kind of Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd kind of, you know, rivalry, or, you know, Mickey and Goofy duo, rather. I think that's what they're more or less meant to be. And here is the Bendy and the Dark Revival Bendy. Of course, you know, these are two, like, this is Bendy from the cartoons. This is the Bendy that comes out of the cartoons to play. Spoilers for the games. He's actually the ink monster Bendy that, or he becomes him later on. I haven't seen much of the game, actually, so I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. About the same size. Yeah. And as I said before, there is a vanilla Bendy figure, which I did not pick up. But here's what's interesting. Yoink. And yoink. You can take this gear off and just have a basic Bendy figure. The same Bendy figure as the basic release, actually. So, yeah. So, you know, if you already have the basic Bendy figure, then I can't say I'd recommend Hula Bendy here to you, because he's pretty much the same thing when you take this off. Yeah. I didn't initially think you could remove his Hula gear, but you can. And you can just have a basic bare bones Bendy figure. So would I recommend this guy? Not if you already have the the bare bones Bendy that came out in actually the same wave. But if you're like me and you like the novelty of, just Bendy dressing up like this, like sort of like how the old cartoon characters would do. Yeah, sure, go for it. But once again, once you remove the accessories, there's not much difference between this guy and the first release of Bendy, which came out in the same wave, by the way. So maybe only get this guy if you can't find the original. I mean, once again, once you take the gear off of him, you pretty much have the original. Or once again, if you like the novelty of just once again Bendy just dressing up like this, you think it's kind of cute, yeah, sure, go for it. So, with nothing else to say, this is Green Tiger Claw Productions with 2 Bendies and 1 doggo. Wolfo, rather. And, yeah. The 4 of us are signing off. Take care. That's all, folks.